No fears, no chains.
Invites you to live a life of emotional abundance.
Written by Vanessa Pisuto. Narrated by Belinda Sainsbury.
Good morning, dear friends. Today, May the 1st, our devotion is entitled Trust. Our scripture reading is from Hebrews chapter 11 and verse 8. It was by faith that Abraham obeyed when God called him to leave home and go to another land that God would give him as an inheritance. He went without knowing where he was going. John Kavanagh visited Calcutta for a few months and served the poor in the hope for the dying destitutes along with Mother Teresa. One day, when John went to see Mother Teresa, she asked him what she could do for him. John asked her to pray for God to give him clarity. Surprisingly, Mother Teresa refused and told him that clarity was the last idol he was clinging to and that he had to let go of it. When John told her he thought she had the clarity he longed for, Mother Teresa smiled and answered, "I have never had clarity. What I have always had is trust in God. So, I will pray that you also trust God." There is nothing wrong with asking God to lead us and give us wisdom. However, it is also important to understand that there will always be a certain level of uncertainty in our lives. Walking with God implies accepting that not everything can be explained and much less controlled. It implies coexisting with an irreducible mystery. Author Shelley Miller describes it with these words: "Uncertainty reminds us that God lives in mystery. His ways are hardly ever direct. Wondering is a required task because we first have to know we are loved. And believing in God's love doesn't always go in a straight line." As quoted in Back Roads to Belonging by Kristen Strong. We have a far greater need of trusting God and the process than of having information or clarity. God does not choose the shortest, most direct, or most understandable path. Instead, He chooses the best one, the path that will more fully reveal His love. Even so, there will be delays and uncertainty. There will be painful losses and unfathomable mysteries. Only God will be able to answer certain questions satisfactorily. In the meantime, what we need is faith. We must trust in Him who has overcome the world and keep on moving forward by faith, not by sight. Dear Lord, when I am desperate to receive answers, to understand and control everything that happens to me, help me to trust. When mystery and grief enshroud me in their cloak of darkness, give me faith. When distress and despair whispers that you have forgotten me, hold me close. More than just understanding, I need to know you are with me. It was by faith that Abraham obeyed when God called him to leave home and go to another land that God would give him as an inheritance. He went without knowing where he was going. Hebrews chapter 11, verse 8.